You ever notice someone smiling while they're clearly furious? Their face is frozen in this perfect grin, but their eyes are screaming. It's unsettling, right? Like you're watching two different emotions battle it out on one face. But here's what most people don't realize. That smile isn't random. It's not just a nervous habit. It's actually a psychological defense mechanism, and it reveals something incredibly deep about how that person's mind works. Let's talk about the real psychology behind people who smile when they're angry. 1. They learned early that emotions aren't safe. Think about it. Some people grew up in environments where anger wasn't allowed. Maybe their parents punished outbursts. Maybe they were told big emotions make you weak or unlikable. So their brain learned a survival strategy. When anger rises, mask it with a smile. Psychologists call this emotional suppression. It's when you hide what you're actually feeling to protect yourself from judgment or consequences. For them, the smile becomes a shield. It keeps the world from seeing their real anger and keeps them from experiencing the punishment they learned to fear. But here's the thing. That smile isn't genuine peace. Underneath, their nervous system is still activated, their heart is still racing, their jaw is still clenched. They're just hiding it behind teeth. 2. They have what's called a high capacity for emotional masking. Some people are naturally talented at reading the room and adjusting their expression accordingly. Psychologists call this emotional intelligence, but not all of it is healthy. People who smile when angry often have this skill taken to an extreme. They're so good at controlling their face that they can appear perfectly calm in the middle of chaos. In a way, it's a superpower, but it comes at a cost. Over time, constantly suppressing anger creates internal tension. Their body holds the stress, while their face pretends everything is fine. 3. They struggle with conflict. When someone smiles through anger, they're usually avoiding confrontation. Real anger, the kind that demands to be felt and expressed, requires conflict. It requires speaking up, setting boundaries, maybe disappointing someone. For people with this pattern, conflict feels dangerous, so instead of letting their anger out, they bury it under a smile. They keep the peace at any cost, even if the cost is their own mental health. Studies show that people who consistently suppress anger have higher rates of anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems like high blood pressure. 4. They might actually be scared. Anger is powerful. It's meant to be felt, to drive action, to protect you. But some people learned that their anger was dangerous. Maybe they saw their own anger hurt someone they loved. Maybe they were told they're too intense or too much. So now when anger rises, fear follows. Fear of what they might do or say. So they smile to contain it, to prove to themselves and everyone else that they're safe, that they're in control, that they won't explode. But that smile is a lie they're telling themselves. 5. They might not even realize they're doing it. This is the most interesting part. For some people, the smile response is so automatic that they don't consciously know they're doing it. Their brain has wired it so deeply that anger triggers the smile without them ever thinking about it. It's like a reflex. Someone upsets them, their brain says we're not allowed to show this, and boom, the smile appears. They're not being fake in the moment. They're genuinely unaware of the disconnect between what they feel and what they're showing.
Here's what you should understand. If you're someone who smiles when you're angry, this isn't about being polite or well-mannered. It's about survival. Your nervous system learned that real anger wasn't safe. Your brain decided that smiling was the way to protect yourself. But here's the hard truth. That protection is slowly hurting you. The anger doesn't disappear when you smile. It just goes somewhere else. It festers. It comes out sideways in passive-aggressive comments, in exhaustion, in resentment that builds over years. So if this is you, you don't need to become someone who yells or loses control. You need to learn a middle ground. You need to give yourself permission to feel angry without it being dangerous. You need to realize that expressing your real emotions doesn't make you weak or unlikable. It makes you human. It makes you real. And the people who matter will respect that authenticity more than any perfect smile ever could. The next time you catch yourself smiling when you're angry, pause. Notice it. Ask yourself why. Is it because you genuinely feel okay, or is it because you learned that anger isn't allowed? Because there's a difference, and understanding that difference might just be the key to finally letting yourself feel what you actually feel. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe. We go deeper every day into the psychology that actually explains you.